Working with Stavanger Symphony Orchestra is very special. And I was discussing this week with some members of the orchestra. I think it had to do with a very old tradition that they also invited my colleague, Frans Brugge, a long time ago, as he was starting to conduct. He learned the orchestra a lot about the old music style and the way of playing in the time of Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, how they played and how you have to approach the music. He has put something in the orchestra, what I would say it's now a part of the DNA of the orchestra. The flexibility and the interest and the way of opening to be approached in the music is so special here in Stavanger that I think of all European orchestras I know, they have a very special place.
Å jobbe med Jan Willem de Vriend, det en fest. Altså første gang han kom til oss, så var det sånn umiddelbart kjærlighet mellom han og orkestret. Og jeg tror veldig mange av oss kjente oss hjemme i hans musisering.
Han har en enorm bagasje av kunnskap om ikke bare Schumann som person når han komponerte hver symfoni, men hans tid, kulturlivet i Tyskland den tiden, andre kulturpersonligheter, alle mulige ting som kanskje betydde mye for akkurat hvorfor Schumann skrev akkurat disse prikkene på papir. Så det gir en helt annen dyp mening for musikken, som da veldig meningsfullt for oss. Så vi vil gjerne derfor da presentere disse symfonier også i innspillings-CD-form for publikum.
The music for Schumann is for me something very special because it is so personal what he's writing at one hand, and with that very emotional sometimes, and at the other hand it's technically so perfect, and those two elements is not, I find it not very often in the music. If I compare with, for example, Beethoven, it's not about his headache, it is not about that he doesn't feel well, but it is about the time, it is about the politics of the time, about the relation with him and other people. On the other hand is also the relation with Clara, with his wife, his motif, Clara, Clara. You hear even the slow movement in the Third Symphony when he used that moment, always calling to her. That in relation how, for example, their marriage was, I would say where they had such a marriage as they have, me and my wife would certainly be divorced.
Vi har spilt disse symfonier ganske mange ganger før, med mange førstelige dirigenter. Og det blir fint, men kanskje ikke så veldig mye mening i det som vi gjør akkurat. Og nå det liksom hver tone vi spiller har en mening bak seg. Om det en crescendo, det fordi det betydde noe akkurat der til Schumann, eller om denne tonen skal vi spille uten vibrato, helt sånn langsom bues i den der man i kirke, og man litt sånn vemodig og litt sånn, det skal ikke være for lett. Så det gjør også at musikken plutselig blir veldig mye mer meningsfull for vår tid og for oss som mennesker og for publikum helt sikkert.
What is so exciting about his symphonies that you see at one, you feel the connection with the old music from Beethoven and before in Haydn, and his strength and fantasy to make something totally new out of it. And if you work on it with the orchestra and the form is a little bit different, the instrumentation, what is mostly brilliant, what ideas he had in the instrumentation, and to get it out of the orchestra and to make clear for the audience is such a great work to do, and it makes that everybody in the orchestra, you can ask, everybody would say, it's such a beautiful music.